was sitting in my office on a cold and stormy Wednesday night. My wife was on the edge of falling asleep. Not me, though. I had too much energy. I had to find something. What was I to do with myself? Shogun airs every Tuesday. I had already watched that, so I have to wait another week. Invincible's season finale was last week. But that's when I remembered it. That show came out today. And while the trailers weren't too promising, I was just bored enough to give it a try. The live-action Fallout show dropped its entire first season on April 10th, and for some reason I found myself loading it up to take a peek. I have had a long history with the Fallout series. I own every single one released. I've played all of them except for Tactics. Please don't hurt me, but to this day I still haven't beaten Fallout New Vegas. It's a great game, don't get me wrong, but it just takes so much to get it running on modern computers. That being said, I'm not a huge Fallout lore guy. So if you want to drop some on me in the comments, feel free. I'd be happy to read. With that being said though, based off of the trailers for the live action Fallout series, I wasn't really interested. What else can you do when you're bored on a Wednesday night though? So I loaded up and that began my journey. Was the live action Fallout show bad? You cannot base this show off of the trailer. That thing was not that good. I know one of the most common complaints about the show before it released was the MCU-like humor, which was on display in the trailer. In retrospect, the Fallout show didn't really have that much humor. None that was like super forefront. For example, most of the humor comes from our main character Lucy in the form of her innocence, how she personally interacts in a world so different outside of the vault. Every other character may have a few lines of humor here and there, but it isn't super distracting. They're jokes that don't fail to land, but they aren't super impressive unless they're coming from Walton Goggins' Ghoul. He 100% has the best jokes in the show that got a few laughs out of me. To get away from the biggest complaint, let's talk about the actual show. Spoilers ahead. The Fallout show mainly follows a typical Fallout plot. A vault dweller has to leave the vault in order to pursue their mission, which somehow leads into saving America in some way or another. Where this show differs though, is that we're following multiple plot lines. And don't get me wrong, I know the games have multiple plot lines, but this is from different characters. Lucy is the vault dweller who has to leave the vault into the wasteland. Lucy's brother Norm, as he tries to explore the mystery of the vault. Cooper, or the Ghoul, has one of the biggest parts in the show as we follow him in two different timelines. We follow the Ghoul in the current timeline as he tries to find his family, and we follow Cooper in a pre-bomb drop timeline as he tries to discover what Vault Tech is up to. The last plot line we follow is of a brother of the Steel, Maximus. You may wonder, how do all of these connect together? Well, they're all looking for Dr. Wilzig, an ex-member of the Conclave who stole something... ex-member of the Enclave, who stole something from them, leading to a bounty being placed on his head. For Lucy and Maximus, this makes sense. For Cooper, it brings a bit of confusion, but we'll talk about that in a bit. The characters are definitely the highlight of the show. Everything we learn about them sticks, and they don't really change from that until they start to grow, as it should be. Lucy is definitely the forefront as she is the main character. Seeing someone enter a new world and watching how that changes them while they try to hold on to their values is so entertaining. On the other hand, Cooper's interactions with Lucy is also a highlight. Seeing Cooper's hard exterior never fully break, but become compromised as he realizes there are still some good people in the world. Norm is one of my favorite characters, mainly due to his plotline. The Vault mystery was definitely my favorite part of the entire show. Then again, I'm a sucker for mysteries. Having the pieces of the puzzle fall together in between everything else helped to up the effect of each clue found. Maximus, while being a cool character, was unfortunately my least favorite. He had a pretty cool plot, but him falling into a love interest gave me huge Finn vibes, and I don't like that. I know Finn isn't the love interest of Ray, but if you've watched the show, I think you'll know what I mean. With the season finale though, I do think his character is about to become a lot more nuanced, and I can't wait to see that. The sets are definitely fitting for the Fallout verse. Everything feels so desolate, and it's just on point. I just wish we got a few more big set pieces. You know how in the games you often find your way into some huge dilapidated city? There's a serious lack of that in the show. The closest we get is a long distance shot of a city that was nuked at one point, as well as as the scene at the end of the season with a very familiar location. That's really my only complaint about that though. Back to my earlier point though, in regards to Cooper's purpose for tracking Dr. Wilzig. He's tracking him in order to find Moldaver, which is the big villain of the show, but the reason for that always seems uncertain. So in the flashbacks, we learned that Moldaver was someone who opposed Vault-Tec, which brings up another point of confusion I'll talk about shortly. But Cooper's entire plot revolves around trying to find his family, which Moldaver wouldn't have any information about since she isn't with Vault-Tec, or at least she shouldn't know anything about them. The only reason his plotline really comes down to anything is because Moldaver took Lucy's dad. This brings me to the other plot hole, which once again, spoilers, how is Moldaver still alive? The main plot of the show takes place 200 years after the flashback period. Cooper's still alive because he's turned into a ghoul and he's been keeping himself alive by drinking piss. The big reveal of the show is that the Vault-Tec members cryo-froze themselves to stay alive for many, many years. I won't go into any other details about that though. With Moldaver opposing Vault-Tec, I'm sure she didn't get into cryo. She definitely doesn't look like a ghoul to me, so how is she still alive after 200 years? If I missed something, feel free to explain that to me because it looks like a huge plot hole to me. With that though, was the live action Fallout show good? Yes. I binged the shit out of the show and I absolutely enjoyed my time with it. Would I recommend you watch it? Yes. If you're a fan of the games, you'll definitely enjoy the show. Definitely better than Fallout 76. It brings all of the best vibes of the game without the Bethesda jank, and for me, that's a huge plus. In addition, you don't have to spend time modding it to make it watchable. If you have watched it, what did you think about it? Are you excited for season 2? If you haven't watched it, are you interested in watching it now? Because once again, I highly recommend it. If you enjoyed the video though, feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great day.